All right, second pod roast. What's up?
How's it going?
Talking about construction.
Construction. The devil's
Dude,
work.
The devil's work. You know what? I would actually be... I wouldn't be surprised if the devil was behind all of construction.
Yeah.
Just all of it. Like if you go in the Bible, Genesis chapter 4, as God's constructing the world, the devil is like, hey man, just pay me, I'll be your fucking contractor and I'll take care of it. And that's why the world's so fucked up.
How can we make everyone's day worse? Just worse.
And it's ironic because their job is basically the description or the point of it is to make everything better and fix things,
improve,
but let's fix
society
it in the most inconvenient way.
Yeah, let's fuck everyone's day up. Dude, it's seriously a horrible thing. And construction workers fucking hate their jobs. They don't love that shit. They're always the most grumpy looking motherfuckers.
And you know what? Have you ever noticed that it seems like this is what it seems like what happens. The town is like, hey, we have this slight problem. There's a few cracks in the street, and they're like, we'll take care of it. They demolish the fuck out of the road. What's
that shit they do when they scrape the entire layer of the road off?
That was all useful material gone.
That was my favorite road, man.
How about you put some tar in the cracks and move on?
Yeah, fill the pothole. Just fill the fucking potholes. That's all you have to do.
And they demolish the road, and then it's like they demolish it, and then they come up with the plan. Because I feel like every time I drive by, you just see a couple of them standing around, pointing at the ground, they're deciding what to do.
Shit.
You haven't figured this out?
Moving the cones around.
How have they not figured? How could we direct traffic in the most inconvenient way possible?
Yeah, let's make this snake of cones that you have to drive through.
Yeah, there's
while
one time...
we're doing nothing.
Down Main Street. So, in Bloomington Normal, the Main Street is essentially... once it gets past, the more normal side, once it goes into Bloomington, it stretches into two one-ways.
Yeah.
And they completely are, fucking up this whole one-way. Every fucking day, they switch the side. The side that you have to, go. There's, a giant, merge left. Because there's only two lanes, really.
Yeah.
And it's, giant merge left. And then, a couple hundred feet down the road, it's merge right.
Yeah.
And then, the next fucking day, it'll be, switched. They just switch them randomly at random points on the road.
Yeah, and they've got the guy with the fucking sign who looks like he wants to blow his brains out. Dude, that's the worst job ever.
Fuck me.
He's just everyone... Yeah, I know a stoplight could easily fucking do this. I know there's, technology that could easily do this job. But here I am. Flip.
Dude, they have the fucking arrow pointing. Why don't they just have a fucking thing that every...
Dude, all you do is put up, a temporary stoplight.
Yeah.
Just a stoplight.
Easily fixed. And don't they have to kind of converge with each other? They'll kind of... There's usually two guys on opposite sides.
Yeah, they got, walkie-talkie. They're, looking at each other,
they're not even watching traffic. They're like, okay, send yours and I'll send mine. Fucking head-on collision. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they're, fucking, fuck with that shit. I mean, I don't think they actually do that because, they'd get sued. But you know why I think the fines are so high for hitting a construction worker? Because it's so fucking tempting to
just jump out in front.
No, for us, as we're driving by, I wonder if I just drove through this massive fucking crowd of construction workers.
They have to make the fine so fucking high because the temptation to hit them all is just...
It's so great. You just feel your hands start turning I wonder if I just drove through the fucking mass.
That's $20,000. That's $20,000.
And here's the other thing. I feel like they don't think things through because I get it that shit comes up we didn't plan for this happening, but I swear they'll over the summer months in Bloomington Normal. It's like a dead town. It's awesome because the roads are fucking open. It's like a drag race. You can go as fast as you want. But over the entirety of summer, they don't do any construction. Right at the end, they'll like demolish a fucking main fucking road, and then they'll be like, oh, now we're working on another project right as everyone's coming back to school. No one can get the fucking anywhere. Everyone's like trying to buy their textbooks and shit. It's like rioting in the streets practically.
It's the most inconvenient thing. Dude, in like major cities it can be horrible. But like it's bad anywhere. It's not good. I've never like experienced construction and been like, wow, thank God.
Yeah,
Thank God they did that. Not once.
Like,
I can't think of one time.
They don't pick like good spot. Like it's like I get it. They have to preemptively do stuff because if they waited till like, oh shit, this bridge collapsed. You know.
Yeah.
50 people died, and now we have to fix it.
Right.
But why don't they converge all of their effort, like prioritize at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of like, you know, spring? Because that's the other thing I was gonna say. They'll start a bunch of shit like right before winter, and they'll be like, oh, it's snowing now, we can't do anything for 4 months. But they leave all the shit out, and the road's destroyed, and you're like, fuck off. And they're like, oh, you know, the joke is, you know, there's only 2 seasons in the Midwest, winter and construction. You're like, no, there's one season, and it's fucking construction with different weather affecting it. It's just construction all the time. It's
literally construction the whole time.
Because they leave their shit out, too. Like, oh, there's been construction areas and stuff where I haven't seen them there for, like, a month. I haven't seen anyone fucking operating any machinery. I drive by it every day, and they just leave the shit out. Like, oh.
Dude, I one time thought of stealing one of those machines because they do just leave them there. They leave them there forever, and no one's monitoring that shit. Like, could you imagine stealing a fucking big claw or whatever? What are those called? Diggers?
Just
they give them the most like retarded names, dude.
Excavator?
This is my digger. It digs.
No, like maybe in the
this is my roller.
It's excavator,
it rolls
right?
Things.
Excavator, and then steamroller. That makes sense.
Yes.
They have to be somewhat
practical. What is it? Run off of steam? It's like a steamboat.
Yeah. Why is it called a steamroller?
Steamroller.
It has to be somewhat. Maybe it was powered by steam.
Maybe it uses steam to like heat the
steamroller.
The ground.
By steam. I'm just gonna type that in and see what fucking comes up.
Like a steam train. There's steam
a true steam-powered steamroller. Oh, it's like all this thing is like a picture of a museum, so you know that if it's in a fucking museum and it says, oh, a true steam-powered steamroller, you know that they're not powered by steam anymore.
Yeah,
it's just like diesel engine or something.
Dude, you're powered by steam still? No wonder it's taking them so long to get this fucking construction done.
Like they have the little steam whistle.
They're using steam engines.
That fucking like ridiculous. Classic steam whistle noise. Those fucking goddamn things. But dude, I'm just sick of it. And it's almost a big practical joke at this point. Like, don't they realize like they're not like they're the butt of everyone's joke, but it's like everyone rips on it, complains about it. You'd think that they would have figured out a way, like, okay.
Dude, how do you get into construction? That's a bad life. That's not fun.
Construction management is one thing. Construction management, they make a lot of money, actually.
Are they private companies, or are they... I guess it's publicly funded, but
they pay...
Is it a private company? Like a construction company?
Yeah, that's also
maybe
another
for private businesses, it's private, but then there's government construction. I don't know. Whatever.
A city job? Like what is it? Is it private? Yeah.
Dude, well, how are they gonna... Okay, you know how it takes like them forever to build a road?
Yeah.
The Trump wall? How is that gonna pan out?
Wait, say this again?
The Trump's wall on Mexico?
Oh, I don't have no idea.
That's gonna take 100,000 years.
I mean, are they actually still... here's the thing. I'm gonna come across as a complete idiot because I bury my head in the sand when it comes... Like, I didn't vote or anything. I know everyone's like, oh, fuck you. You're part of the problem. I didn't fucking... Sorry, I was I was swimming, like kicking my legs furiously to keep my head above water and get through grad school and working and shit. Like last semester, I didn't give a fuck about anything. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if, who is president. I just assumed that they were gonna fuck it up anyways. Our country's not in a good state right now. Yeah. It's not terrible. I think people are more afraid of where it's going than where it's at. I know it's not great.
Yeah.
But it's not terrible. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you could point out specific things.
If you look around, like, nothing in my life has changed, and I know that's not a good, like...
I know, people could say,
gauge,
like, oh...
Right? Because...
2 white males, of course you're not affected.
Oh, that's so
But there's
true,
plenty of other people that are, like, that aren't affected. And race,
yeah.
I mean...
I'd say a majority of people have gone unaffected.
In, like, a daily life, and even in the grand scheme of things...
Now, on the other hand, Trump has been trying to make these large policy changes that haven't really gone through because of opposition, but I don't know, man. That's kind of how I saw it from the beginning. If Trump won, was that, the Democrats or whatever, the checks and balances system would keep him relatively in check.
Yeah, and that's honestly...
So, and that's how it's been going.
Yeah,
like, he's been pretty much
I think people...
stalled.
Are also afraid that he's just going to be able to do whatever he wants, and he can't.
Even with, like, a majority Congress, he still can't get shit done.
Even the Republicans are like, okay, slow down, dude.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
I think... And you know what? I was watching Joe Rogan's most recent stand-up. I think it's his most recent stand-up.
The Triggered.
And when he's talking about how... He has like a brief little bit, and he kind of skews it into something else. But he's talking about how the idea and the job of president is so stupid. Because he's if you're president for like 50 people, you figure out who's the most smart and qualified to run. But then how is one person supposed to be the face and, like essentially the ruler in some way or form of 300 million people? He's like, that's stupid. Yeah. That's completely ridiculous. I'm honestly completely for every state having a lot of authority. Like, get rid of the federal government needs to be there, but they need to get the fuck out of everyone's way. Sorry, like, stop fucking getting in the way. And one of the big things is always like fucking... It's always with like legalization of fucking like pot. It's like a huge... It's something so trivial and stupid. Like, that's what you're worried about? The federal government's worried about fucking whether or not a certain state legalizes pot or not? Fucking who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Fuck
I know.
you.
If that's that region, like, if they want to pass that, fucking let them do it.
And that's just I don't even feel that strongly about it. Like, I don't really give a shit about pot that much anymore at all. I mean, so it's kind of like, oh, let the fucking stoners whatever have it. I mean, if I wanted to get high, you either hit up one of your friends that sells it, or fucking you buy it at the store if your state legalizes it. It's like, it's not that big of a difference. Anyways, I'm going to get it anyway, so I don't really give that much of a fuck, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like a small example that you can pan over the idea of the federal government just getting in the way of things when it doesn't need to. It doesn't need... Like, if a particular state, if they make a bunch of stupid decisions and their little, like, internal economy is kind of getting shat on by their own fucking people shitting on it, that's kind of their own fault, and the federal government, I guess, can step in and help them a little bit. But it's not like every state has to be its own, like, fucking coalition and, like, unified own little country and stuff. I'm not talking about, like, this big separation. We're the United States of America. We're united in a sense that we're all connected and stuff, but we don't need...
But we're still states, man.
I'm cool with, like...
Don't tread on me.
I'm cool with the governors having a little bit more power, but then you kind of think about how some of the shitty governors that have been in power, so it's like, fuck, because no one really gives a... No one
No one pays attention. That's the elections you should pay attention to.
I know, the local
state
shit.
Elections. Yeah.
You've heard the phrase, like, think globally, act locally?
Oh, no, I've never heard that.
I forgot where I heard it, but it's like...
That sounds like...
Think about what you'd want to do to improve, like, the world. Like, oh, man, if everyone did this, the world would be a better place, and then do that locally. Because if everyone fixed their own local town, or even think about it even on a greater scale, like just yourself. If you improve yourself... Then you improve your family and friends. Then you work together to improve your town. And then all the towns work together to make the state a better place. All the states work together to make a better country. And then all the countries unify together to make the world a better place. People are thinking too grand. And they're like, let's solve world hunger over there or something. And it's like, I know that's a problem. But you kind of have to... If everyone... worked on themselves locally and then slowly let that expand and just kind of rub off on everything around you.
Yeah.
You know?
It comes down to even focusing like on yourself instead
That's
of
what
other
I was saying,
people.
yeah. Be selfish a little bit.
Yeah, dude. That's so true.
Cuz dude, think about like when I'm like when you're in the best mood is if I have a morning when I wake up and I work out and I do a bunch of shit for me first, and then I go and tackle the day, and that's when I'm in a good mood. Everyone else is like walking around grumpy, like, well, I fucking hate my life. I'm like, fuck off. That's what I hated about so many jobs that I work in the morning. I'll go in with it'll be like 7 in the morning, whatever. I'm fucking happy. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I have a job. Yeah, it's kind of shitty, and I'm getting paid, $1.25 above minimum wage.
$1 an hour.
And I'm only getting fucking 20 hours a week if I'm lucky. Oh, wow, that's not really good. But I have a job. I have like my own passions that have nothing to do with that fucking job. And it's just a way. It's like, yeah, I have to go to this job most days to be able to live my life and function. Suck it the fuck up and deal with it.
Yeah,
it's not all fun and games, but just I go in with a smile on my face and I get through the day.
Yeah, life is tough. Life ain't easy. People think it's easy, but I don't know. It's different for everyone too. I mean, everyone has different.
Yeah, but isn't it funny? Like you could, if you try your best to make life easier and like convenient and like essentially make it so you can make it lazy.
Long run. The shortcut.
Yeah,
if you take the shortcut,
you'll end up being less happy in the long run. Because you blow off a bunch of shit that's important.
Yeah, dude.
You're like, because when people do the bare minimum, that's usually like, okay, I'm gonna get up, just enough time to get it to work and school. Do the bare minimum on like if you're in school, like homework or assignments and projects, or even work, doing the bare minimum, and then like just doing the bare minimum on everything.
Dude,
and
like basically just be like. Treat life like you're a construction worker.
Relating it back to those
just doing
fucks.
Like not trying when you should.
I'm not trying. Opening up, blowing up all your roads, and then instead of picking one to start working on, you just kind of leave them there, all tattered and ruined. This is a big metaphor for how people open up the fucking refrigerator and then leave it open, and then they wonder why their electric bill is fucking through the roof and they don't have any food that they can eat because it's all fucking expired. That's what everyone does. Metaphorically, they open their refrigerator to take one thing out and they leave it open and fuck up everything else. Finish what you start. Fucking...
Yeah. Wipe your own ass.
Wipe your own ass, dude. Take responsibility.
Stop having mommy and daddy wipe your ass for you.
Shake off your dick, because you don't want to get piss stains on the inside of your boxers.
But not 3 shakes, because 3 shakes is, you know what they say.
Oh, when you're playing with yourself? Like, if I was jerking off in there.
Dude, 3 shakes? Not playing with yourself.
Dude, like 10 shakes isn't playing with yourself. Sometimes you gotta shake.
Yeah, no. Dude, it takes me like at least 150 shakes.
Realistically, I'm trying to think like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, yeah, like you kind of like jerk it around a little bit, and you kind of
20. Dude, spin it. You ever spin it sometimes to get it going?
You get it twirling helicopter sometimes, like.
Yeah.
If I get the engine started though, I'll start.
Because you get the centrifugal. It's like
I'll start actually
like centrifugal
floating
force to get the blood out there.
Dude, one of the funniest fucking urinal stories, like, or just bathroom. I was working. It was when I worked at did like event stuff, like production services, and I'm like working in the sound booth, and we're in there just all day. So I'm like taking a piss, and this guy is in the urinal next to me, and we're just standing there, and all of a sudden I'm like I got up there a second before he did, so I was about to go, and then you know when like someone kind of comes out of nowhere, you're like, oh fuck, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, gotta get it going again, relax, it's just another human, who cares, they're all pissing, because it's kind of hard to piss in like right in front of someone, and I realized it started getting really awkward because I noticed that he's not pissing either, and I'm still not. And the guy just goes like, don't you fucking hate when that happens? And I start laughing my ass off. He's like, I came in here, he's like, I had to piss so bad, and now I just can't piss. And we're both like cracking up. I start laughing so hard that I'm pissing. That I just start pissing. And since I'm laughing, my body is kind of like jerking, and my dick is just like bouncing, spraying piss all over the inside of the urinal. And then he's laughing, and then I hear his piss splattering against the urinal. And we're fucking cracking up. And then we just start, like, we're just like washing our hands, and then we're like, okay, my hands are washed, and we just shake hands like.